you've ever wondered why I don't.
Oh, okay. Joel, come get it. Charlie, do your... Oh, yeah. Oh, about that time. Clapping.
Are we good?
I'm sure more will come in as we go, but it's after 6, so.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, Rabbi.
I am not going to do what I normally do in this space, which is normally I would say, Purim. So what do we say for Purim? Purim. So what do we say for Purim? What? We're going to be having an opportunity to make lots of noise, but first let's all just take it down a little bit. A bag, Rabbi Sobo can get one for you so that you have something to collect some of the candy. But I'm going to finish my sentence. Yes. This is a good answer, but what do we use when we say it with our voices? Okay, boo would be a good one, but what else might we say? Purim Sameach. Wonderful. So tonight, you guys have all seen that instead of prayer books, you have gotten bags for candy. Yes. A grogger. Yes. What else could it be called? Yes. I can't quite hear her. An instrument. It is an instrument.
Can we have our groggers catch a bubble for a minute while we're answering the questions?
I can't hear what he said.
A rattle.
A rattle? I suppose it could be like a rattle. Another word in Hebrew. What might we say in Hebrew for something that is also known as a grogger? Yes? Say it loud. You don't know. Anyone? Yes. That's not Hebrew. Noisemaker is a good answer. Who, perhaps someone who goes to Hillel or has gone to Hillel maybe, knows what this is in Hebrew? Yes. Thank you. Grogger. Yes, we got there. Anybody else? Rashan. This is a Rashan. Havana Risha, Rash. Right? Find it here. How many of you think I'm going to find it in here? Okay, you guys are really good. How many of you think I'm going to find it in here? You guys are still really good. How many of you think I'll find it in here? You are correct. This is one written in what language? You can tell me. It's mostly in English, but it has some Hebrew. Why would it be written on something like this? It looks like what we would call a scroll. When we talk about Esther, we talk about the scroll of Esther, right? So I have a different scroll, and this one is it is written by a sofer on parchment or a scroll. And because we like to understand it a little bit more, how many of you think if I read this all in Hebrew, but it's also a mitzvah for us to read it in English like this? Now, what? The one with pictures? You want me to show you that one again? I like this one better because I've cut down how many times they say Esther and Mordecai. Makes it a lot easier with the throwing of the candy. In case you're wondering why I use that. All right. Now I see a lot of you guys who are all dressed up. You guys look amazing, by the way. You will in just one moment. But I'm excited for your enthusiasm of Purim, the story of Purim, whether it is Haman or Esther or Mordecai or Vashti. Who else could I say? Ahasuerus. If you have dressed up as any of those characters, I want you to come up here with me right now. If you're any of those characters, of all the people who are dressed up as the king and queen, because you have a special place to come up in just a minute. Yes, you look amazing. Let me guess. Are you Haman? Well done. Thank you. How about you? Are you the king? Are you the king? Are you not sure who you are? You're going to be the king tonight. How's that? No? Would you like to be the king? I'm going to count you as my king. And you are Queen Esther. I was just checking. So we're going to go ahead and give everybody a candy bar for dressing up as one of our heroes of Purim. All of you are heroes, even Haman, because you help us make the story possible tonight. So thank you. Okay. If you are dressed up as a symbol, perhaps, of Purim, maybe you are dressed up as a Hamantashen or anything else like that, then you can come on up now if you are a symbol of Purim.
Can they go peanut butter?
Be a peanut butter and jelly Hamantashen? I think that would be pretty awesome. So we're going to give you that. Well done. And before we get to our favorite category of miscellaneous, I want to see how many of you raise your hands. How many of you are prepared to come up here because you dressed like someone in the movie Inside Out? All right, that's a lot of you. Some candy. And we have Envy, and you are not going to tell me? Who are you dressed?
Envy is like teal, and she has a purple dress.
I kind of love it. It's beautiful.
You'll do it.
I am, that's right. I should be up there too. Some of our favorite lovable characters from anything else. Please come on for our last group to get their parade, and then we're going to take one big picture with everybody. I think actually this year it might have been the Inside Out. They're still coming up. That's true. It's you.
Good thing I got a second thought.
Oh my goodness. Most of us come on up and get their candy, and now, if you want to put your groggers down and your candy down, we're going to all come up, and someone's going to take a picture of all of us who've dressed up together. Hey, you look amazing. Look at you guys. There were so many of you who just came up. I want you to come back up here all together now. Where's your costume? Okay. Sideways. Okay, everybody in here together.
Everybody pretend like you like each other.
We love each other. We love each other. How about you guys turn and face your parent? Would you like that? Come on over this way. If you're taller, come on over here. Everybody give a big hand to all of our costumes. Hooray! Although I see someone in a costume still. I know, I love it. I love it. Okay.
And as you find your seats, I went with the bigger size lunch bags, so there's hopefully room not just for your candy in here, but also your tokens and tickets.
Rules of where they can sit and who they can sit
All right.
by and all that good stuff.
What?
Let's share the rules.
So, who likes candy? So if you would like candy and you are over the age of 4, your tushy needs to be in a seat.
To make sure that everybody gets candy.
We want to make sure we are keeping...
So our goal is to protect all of these little dudes up here, so please stay in your seats.
And your can paying attention. So yeah, if you want to take...
So all of you, I know, have some sort of a grogger or a rashan, which is going to be used when we say what word. Who can tell me what word? Hey, those are both words that you can use this for. You can also, if you don't want to use that, or in addition to it, you can use your voice. And what are you going to say when you hear that word? Boo. What are we going to say? Yay! Or you can clap. Yay! If I say Mordechai, what are you going to say? Yay! Make sure that the Jews continue to live at the end. All right, are we ready? Are we ready? We can only throw candy if it's quiet enough that you can hear me say it. I know, but you will catch it. We say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mikra Megillah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universals in past days. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. Ourselves. And last, we do Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Bless. From India to Nubia and occupied the royal throne in the fortress city of Shushan. In the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a banquet for all that displayed the vast riches of his kingdom and the splendid glory of his majesty. At the end of the period, the king gave a 7-day banquet for all the people of Shushan. The day after the king had had a lot of wine, he ordered his attendants to bring Queen Vashti before him to display her great beauty to his public. But Queen Vashti, she risked advisors. What, he asked, shall be done to Queen Vashti for failing to obey the command of her king? One advisor was very concerned. Queen Vashti has committed an offense not only behavior, they're going to act the same way. There will be no end. You should just make a royal edict that Vashti never again shall enter in your presence. And when the people of your realm hear this, all the wives will treat their husbands with respect, high and low alike. This is an ancient text. The king liked the idea, and so it was done. Let us search the land, every province of your mighty kingdom, for the most beautiful woman for your majesty. Let them come and be assembled here in Shushan under strict supervision, queen instead of Vashti. The proposal pleased the king very much. Now, if you're still listening, it so happened that in the cap Mordechai, whose family had been exiled from the land of Israel, he lived in Shushan with his young cousin. Mordechai, had adopted as his own daughter. Now, Esther was very beautiful, but she never told anyone that she was Jewish. Fell in love with her. He banquet in her honor. In fact, Esther, well done, even sent them all expensive presents. Her cousin Mordechai, meanwhile, he sat at the palace gate every day waiting for her. 2 of the king's guards plotting to murder Ahasuerus. He told his cousin the queen, and she reported it to the king in Mordechai's name. Now, if you're still listening, you'll hear me. You get more candy for Esther and Mordechai, the louder you boo for Haman. Okay. Haman, who's to this man named Haman. But bow down. And when Haman saw that, when he saw that he would not kneel or bow low to him, he was act that he began plotting to this, see the best time to bring about the death of the Jews. The Purim, those lots, told him that he went to King Ahasuerus and said to him, there is a certain people scattered and dispersed among the other peoples in all the provinces of your realm, whose laws are, and I myself will put up 1,000 pieces of silver for the job. Those will be his signet ring, a sign of royal favor. He took it off of his own finger and he gave it to Haman. The enemy of the Jews. It was issued throughout the kingdom, and it was done as Haman directed. This decree was to destroy all the Jews, young and old, children, and to seize everything that they owned. So when Mordecai learned the royal decree of death to the Jews. Whoa, wait a minute. This looks like a lot more people up here than we started with. I'm not sure we can keep going. Lots of people are not sitting at candy. I want to make sure everybody stays nice and safe. So 3 days later, Esther put on her finest royal robes. Esther put on her robes. Yep. Maybe you can continue to walk around the room a little bit, make sure that you can get everybody so they don't feel like they need to move around. And stood in the inner courtyard of the king's palace. Everybody have a seat, please. I'm not joking around. Where the king asked her, and what is your request? Close. Let your majesty and Haman come to provide the men with food and wine. The king again asked Esther, what is your wish? My wish, she replied, is that you and Haman, until he once again ran into Mordecai the Jew. When Haman got home, he told his wife and his friends all about his evening. Every time I see that Jew at the palace gate refusing to bow down, stake 50 feet high outside your door and ask the king to have this man killed on it. Then you can have a fun time at the queen's dinner. Haman really liked this idea. Later that night, the king was unable to sleep. So he got up and read a book. What book did he read? His own royal diary. And there he read about how Mordecai had saved his life. He realized that he had not yet rewarded him. So he searched the palace for someone to advise him on how to do that. And the only one in the palace at the time was Haman himself. Haman, of course, thought the king was talking about him. So he really wanted to come up with something special. Let's see, he said to the king. Let this man wear royal robes, ride on, be declared that this is what is done. Let parade, and you will give all of this to Mordecai the Jew. Such was Haman's humiliation. Haman, so despised, he did just as the king commanded him and put the royal robes and the royal crown on Mordecai. And he paraded him around the city on the carriage. Then the king's guards arrived to take him to the second banquet that king. So he and the king came to feast with the queen a second time, and happily full of wine and food, the king again asked, what is your wish, Queen Esther? The queen replied, please, your majesty, this is what I ask. My wish is that you spare that I and my people are to be destroyed. And King Ahasuerus was stunned, so furious, for he loved Esther very much. The king then demanded, who is this man? Who would dare do such a thing? The adversary and enemy, she replied, is the evil Haman. The king was furious And to add to his anger, one of his guards informed him, "You know, Majesty, Haman, he intends to kill Mordecai the Jew. That man who saved your life." The king wasted no time. Then such shall be done. Guards killed Haman on the stake that he had meant for Mordecai. Finally, Esther had revealed to the king all about her cousin Mordecai, and also that he had saved the king's life. King Ahasuerus will... You're not going to be able to hear if you're yelling. Ahasuerus rewarded Mordecai a second time. Royal protection and power. But the rest of the Jews of Persia were still in danger, for Haman's royal decree already had been sent out. Esther and Mordecai, you may write a new decree. Write it in my name and seal it with my ring, so that all of the king's scribes, and sent out this decree to all of the 127 provinces of the kingdom from India to Ethiopia, which said, the king, you have the right to fight back against your enemies. And so it came to pass that on the 13th day of the month of Adar, on the very day that Haman decreed, Jews gathered forces against their enemies. Hundreds of their enemies were killed in the capital city of Shushan, thousands more throughout the kingdom. Among them were the 10 sons of the wicked Haman. That they had the 5th day of Adar, and made it a day for feasting and merrymaking. The Jews of the capital, and so it was that these days came to be a holiday, which we call, everybody, which is a day of merrymaking and feasting, sent out another royal decree to the Jews of the kingdom to observe these days. The 40 of all the Jews had cast Purim, that is, he cast lots, to determine when the Jews of Persia would die. These days came to be known as the holiday of Purim. This is in the realm of Ahasuerus. The king himself became greatly respected by the Jews, and he was popular with all of his people. He acted with kindness and relying on the wise advice of her cousin. This is the last one. One more after this. On the wise advice of her cousin Mordecai, in every province, in every city around the world. Remember what to do when you say, Haman. My hope is this will not be the only time you hear about the story of Purim before next year. And you will remember that would be our Queen Esther. As we conclude in this part, there are a few announcements we need to make and a few thank yous. First of all, I want to say thank you for those of you who did an awesome job with the groggers or the Rashans. When you leave tonight, as you go into the other room, not right this second, or when we want them. And before I hand it all the way over to Rabbi Sobo, this is a message for the adults. A progressive Jew who identifies as Reform, I would encourage you to go find that man in the back, Mitchell Faust, later tonight, and he will guide you through the process. If you have any questions about it, he and
I am now keeping you. I saw Carol on the way in, I think, helping people pay for dinner. If you, is Jeff in here? Probably not. So Sarah Faust and Jeff Bloomer spearheaded the making of our mac and cheese dinner.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Please make sure you see somebody with a cash box to pay for dinner on your way. So focus on eating first. Got it? Bye.
Wait. Don't we want to say thank you?
What?
Don't we want to say thank you for those who helped?
Teens, Scott Hallis, Melanie and Ryan Shannon, Sarah Faust and Danielle Zeisloff did a lot of the behind-the-scenes planning.